G'day guys, you're back with Miracle Max. In the workshop right now I have a Mitsubishi Triton. There's a shock. It's a 2015 model with a 4D56 in it. It's overheating. What's the problem? We'll check it out together. This 2015 4D56 Mitsubishi Triton is suffering from overheating. I've just taken it for a quick road test and the pressure on the hose is super tight, which is to be expected, you know, once it's up to temperature. But this sort of pressure here is retained overnight. So in other words, if I come in the morning, this is still really tight here. Could be several things. Could be our cap. That definitely could be an issue, or it could be a head gasket causing that issue, retaining pressure. I've done all the normal checks, of course. Pressure test in the cooling system, make sure the radiator cap is okay. Checking for leaks anywhere, it's all good. What's the next check we can do? It's called a TK head check. What I'm going to do is a TK head check. This stuff will change colour if we find any hydrocarbons or anything like that, unburnt fuel, in the cooling system. I'll show you how it works. So with the engine hot and idling, we put on our TK head check and we look for a colour change in the fluid. So seal that over the top, push down hard. Now we're looking for a change to yellow. Certainly doesn't appear to be changing to yellow, does it? Oh, that looks pretty good to me. That's interesting. I've just topped it up and there's certainly a few bubbles coming through, isn't there? A lot of bubbles. Bit of a worry, isn't it? I might pressure test it again now that it's hot and see if I get any leakage anywhere. You know, maybe it goes into the cylinder, then it runs rough when I start it up. I'll see what happens. I've just spoken to the dealership and this vehicle is going to be going there because these have a common problem with the engine block being machined incorrectly, and then it blows the head gasket between number 3 and 4. So look, at this point in time it's done 190,000 Ks and it's what, 6 years old now. Mitsubishi will stand by their warranty and they are replacing these engines, either a short engine, which is just the block, or a long engine including the head. Just depends. I've just spoken to the local dealership about this particular vehicle and they said yes, it's a common problem with them, with the coolant bubbling out the overflow tank as well as bubbles coming out the radiator, and yes, it doesn't necessarily show up on the TK head check, pressure testing, etc. It's only under load or driving for an extended period of time, then you turn it off and of course all the bubbles come out your overflow tank. I contacted one of the guys at TAT and he said over in WA that they had a motor replaced by the dealership last week, in fact, with the same problem. It had done over 200,000 kilometres, but the dealer stood by their warranty, which is awesome. On this particular model they had a real problem with overheating. Things they tried to combat the problem with was a higher pressure radiator cap. They went to 127 kPa. They suggested that coolant go up to 50% or 50% ratio between coolant and water. They also suggest manipulating the ECU so it doesn't bring on the fault code. Fault code, if you're curious, was a P0217, which is coolant temperature overheating. But mostly with these Triton engines they realised that the engine block had been machined wrong. What's the problem with them? Well, when the engine block has been machined, it's been done too coarse, therefore allowing areas for the head gasket to leak past. Later model engines do a finer cut, therefore it's like a polished surface, less chance of the head gasket blowing. I've advised the customer to book the vehicle into the dealership so that they can follow their diagnostic path and then hopefully come up with a warranty claim for this particular customer. I'll keep you in the loop anyway. Well, this repair has been quite the journey. After roughly 7 weeks, the customer got his car back. But the good news is that it's got a new engine in it. Yes, they validated the warranty after their diagnosis was proven that the engine was at fault. Why did Mitsubishi honour this warranty? Well, it was a problem right from the factory. That machining of the block is the main cause of the problem in this particular case. How did the dealership actually diagnose this fault? They run the engine at about 3000 RPM for about 15 minutes, then back the accelerator off, and then if water goes straight into the overflow bottle, that is the actual problem, and that is the blown head gasket. A simple diagnosis, but an effective one. In this case, it was a definitive answer to that overheating question. I rang the guys at the dealership yesterday and they said that they had also replaced the timing belt on it, so there's a new one fitted to it now. Just having a quick look, I'm not exactly sure what they do, whether they replace the head as well, but in this case, look, it looks pretty clean to me. It looks brand new, in fact, so it may have been a long motor that was replaced. Even the vacuum pump looks new. I believe they keep the original injector pump and injectors and stuff like that. Turbo, of course, those sort of things. But as for the rest, it is all new. Not bad for a warranty claim, hey? So I'm just about to do a service on it. It's up for its 190,000 kilometre service. We're going to replace the oil and filter and just do that general service. It's good to see the radiator level correct, together with the overflow bottle, and it's no longer spewing it out the side all over the vehicle, all around this area, which is an indicator of that overheating issue. At the time, when I spoke to the customer, he said he was sick of this vehicle and he wanted to get rid of it. But now that he's got it back, who knows, he may have changed his mind. Look guys, this is a common fault with the Mitsubishi Tritons, and it has plagued Mitsubishi for some time now, and they've been replacing these engines as a warranty claim. If you do have an overheating issue, as in the case here, I suggest you take it to the dealership to get them to try and do a diagnosis on it. If it is a warranty claim, they will actually reimburse that diagnosis fee for you. I asked the customer to get an invoice for the work that was done, and as you can see, it's got warranty written across here. I'm trying to hide some of the important details. Notice that they've tested the radiator coolant mixture, and it's 50-50% just as required. The cap has been tested. The cracking pressure was 128 kPa. Remember, it was changed to a 127 kPa, so that's fine. No external leaks evident, even though this vehicle was not flagged as part of the campaign. So in other words, the VIN wasn't within the range that they had the issue. Notice there that the stress test was carried out, but it was finished early because the engine was displacing large amounts of coolant from the engine. In fact, when I spoke to the dealership, they told me that they couldn't complete the test because this was one of the worst that they had seen. And notice it says there that the coolant head and engine failure evident. But you can see they did a full engine. There's a long assembly listed here, $6,700, and they did new injection pipes as well, which was nice. And total cost was over $10,000. That's quite an expense for Mitsubishi Australia, of course, keeping in mind that this is not the only vehicle that's under warranty. There's a lot of these engines that are failing. So good on Mitsubishi for standing by their warranty. That's a great thing to do. But you do have to push for this warranty. They're not just going to hand it over to you. You have to follow their guidelines and rules, of course, which is fair enough. But I know this customer is pretty happy considering they got a full long engine replacement. It wasn't just the block, the head was replaced as well, and that includes a lot of the other items, including timing belt and things like that. Well, it's certainly a win for the customer in this particular case, getting a full engine after 190,000 kilometres. There it is, right up there. So guys, if you have an overheating issue, I strongly suggest you go and see your dealership and talk to them about this possible warranty claim. It's a little bit of fiddling around, but hey, if you save yourself 10 grand, well, you're a winner right there. Guys, I hope you've got something from this video today. This has been a success story for this particular customer. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and feel free to comment down below. Of course, don't forget about that notification bell. You don't want to miss any future videos. So guys, until next time, this is Miracle Max signing off. I will catch you later.